I want to ask a question tonight, very, very simple question. If this was the last chance that you had to save everything that you care about, your wife, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, your country, your religion, your culture, if you were told that this was the last chance that you had to save all of that, and everything that you hold dear was going to be utterly destroyed in the space of 5 to 10 years, and you knew in your heart of hearts that you had to act, that you had to do something, that you had to take action to save everything that means anything to you, what would you do? Would you just sit on your hands and say, got a lot going on at the minute, making lots of money, everything's nice, I think I'll just give it a pass and let someone else do the fighting? Because the reality is that that's the situation we're in. This warning I'm giving to anybody that stumbles upon this video is not exaggerated, it's not hyperbole, it is reality, that the very future of our nation hangs in the balance. And if I came to you and said, do you know what, I think we might have the answer, I think we might have the solution, would you take time to listen? Would you take time to take action? Would you stand up and do something? And you see, we've been thinking about these things and learning about these things for many years. Many of us have woken up, and many of you watching this video know what I'm saying is true, that we are in the last chance saloon. And if I also told you that we had plans and ideas that meant that you could save this country and save everything you hold dear without even having to fire a shot or lift a hand or fight physically in any way, would that appeal to you? Because that's what we're offering. That's what we're offering. You may well have seen the meeting that we had last Tuesday, where we got some really good people who have a lot of influence in our movement in a room and said, how can we save this country? What can we do? And we banged our heads together, and it was completely painless because everybody was on the same page. We were all saying the same things. The unity in that room was amazing. And what I want to say to the people of this country, to the people that are watching this video, you can do something. You can do something right now to save your country. It's not going to cost you your life. It'll cost you a bit of money as you get on a train or on a bus or in your car or an aeroplane, wherever you are in the UK, wherever you are in the world. If you care about the UK, I'm asking you to do one thing. I'm asking you to come to London on the 27th of July. Because I genuinely believe that the 27th of July is the most important day, certainly in the history of our movement, but possibly in modern history. Because what we're going to do on the 27th of July, we're going to bring people together that love the United Kingdom. The event, we're not calling it a demonstration, we're not calling it a protest, because the days of demonstrations and protests are over. We want to celebrate now. Even though we haven't won anything yet, we want to celebrate. And we've got music, we've got worship bands from a local church, we've got a piper, we've got singers. We might even have the odd rapper or two. Who knows what we've got? But it's not about entertainment. We're not bringing you to central London to entertain people. We're bringing you to central London to say, we have got a plan. We know how we can save this country. But we need the people of this country to get behind us and to stand with us. And we're calling this event Uniting the Kingdom. For a very simple reason, that's what we need to do. We need to bring like-minded people together from whatever background. We've always said this from the beginning, this is not about the colour of your skin, it's not about your creed. And as my friend Paul Thorpe has said, and I will quote this until I'm blue in the face. It's about the colours within your heart. Is your heart red, white and blue? That's what we want on Saturday the 27th of July. People whose hearts are committed to saving this country, committed to their families, to their faith and to their flag. That's what we want to see. And I believe there's millions of people from all backgrounds, all racial backgrounds, all religious backgrounds, that believe exactly what I believe, that this country is worth fighting for and it's worth saving. And if we get the critical mass of people that we need, and I believe there's at least 30 million people in this country believe what I believe, at least 30 million, quite possibly a great deal more. But let's be conservative in what we're looking for. We want 30 million people to join our movement. And it is not an explicitly political movement. Yes, politics are involved, but it's about culture. It's about winning back the culture. It's about winning back the institutions. It's about winning back the media. And yes, it's about winning politically. And the reality is, and again, this will upset a lot of people, but I'm going to say it. There is not one political party that represents us and what we believe at the minute. And I include Reform in that. Big problems with Reform, I believe. And I'm not writing Reform off. I encourage people to vote for Reform in the last election because the Tory party had to be annihilated at that election. But what needs to happen is there needs to be a coming together of deep political thinkers. It can't be the Nigel Farage show. We don't run a presidential campaign in the United Kingdom. There isn't going to be a President Farage. He's not going to topple the king and declare a republic. That's not going to happen. And that's not a dig at Nigel Farage. It's not a dig at the Reform Party. What I'm saying is everything needs to be a lot broader. And what we need to be able to do is hold our politicians to account. And that's a lot of what we're doing and a lot of what we're thinking about. How can we do this? And we've got some great ideas. So if you want to hear what those ideas are, you want to hear what our plans for the United Kingdom are, and what our plans are for how we can save the United Kingdom, well, I'd say one very simple thing. Come on the 27th of July. We're going to be meeting at the Royal Court of Justice, meeting up at midday, stepping off and walking to Trafalgar Square at 1 o'clock. And if you really care about the country, if you're an ex-soldier, I'm a veteran. I did 7 years in the army in the 80s and 90s. No great shakes. But I was willing to bleed and die for my country. I know many of you who are veterans are the same as me. That heartbeat, that love for your country that was instilled into you as a young soldier never leaves you. It hasn't left me. And I'm proud of the country I came from. I'm proud of England. I live in Northern Ireland. I'm proud of Northern Ireland. I love the people of Northern Ireland. It's my home. But I love my country. And my heart bleeds when I see what's happening in my country, when I see what's happened to the girls of Rotherham and Telford and Rochdale. That breaks my heart when I see what's happened to the daughters of England. When I see people promoting foreign terrorist organisations on the streets of my capital city, that makes my heart bleed. And I'm not going to sit on my hands and do nothing. I'm not going to cower in the corner like a little child. I'm no tough guy. I'm not claiming to be a tough guy. And we're not encouraging anyone to do anything illegal or violent. But what we're saying is, let's start standing up and let's get organised and let's take back the political dimension of this country and let's make it in our image. You see what's happening at the minute, the tail's wagging the dog. You've got a tiny few people who nobody trusts calling the shots and destroying our country. We've got to get rid of them. And we've got to make sure that if Reform is the answer, that Reform is called to account. And it's the 30 million people that call Reform to account, not Nigel Farage and his little cabal of people at the top of the party, his little cabal of millionaires. It's ordinary people. People like me, people like you. Anyway, 27th, Royal Court of Justice, midday, be there because we are going to shake the foundations of this country. See you all soon.